Flash Force. Middle-aged women superheroes save democracy. With the Broadway All-Star Repertory Company featuring, in alphabetical order, Lucie Arnaz, Judy Blazer, Donna Lynne Champlin, Jason Graae, Kevin Isola, Kecia Lewis, Nancy Opel, Linda Purl, Emily Skinner, and Karen Ziemba. High at the tippy top of a rocky cliff overlooking the sea, in an especially tax-free country on the Mediterranean, our band of superheroes has settled into the villa of Boris and Natasha Rimensky, the Russian billionaire fertilizer king, and his wife, a former beauty queen still smarting from her ejection from the Eastern European tour of Annie when she was 12. Our heroes, posing as entertainers for Natasha's birthday party, are on a mission to stop the transfer of $1 billion to the secret world-destroying organization, ORWELL, which will use the money to spread disinformation, proving that the American Revolution is a hoax and that the United States, for real, has belonged to Russia for the last 250 years. We join the women as they heroically attempt to locate the computer servers guarded by a massive yellow-eyed dog, while simultaneously struggling to prepare an all-Andrew Lloyd Webber evening at the hostess's request.
He forgot to say if successful, it would throw the world into global and economic chaos.
That is correct. It would. Chapter 5. Boris and Natasha throw a party. Your narrator, Elizabeth.
It was the day before the party, and the guests were starting to arrive at the villa. That morning, we'd had a secret meeting. Before Flavio, the Reminskys' faithful servant and piano player, served us breakfast in our common sitting room, which overlooked the ocean and was decorated with nude figures of different goddesses lifting giant seashells over their heads. At least we thought the meeting was secret. Pam began talking, and Celia raised her hand to silence her.
Well, I'll tell you, that Natasha, she's got an ego the size of Romania. I've spent so much time trying to get her to sing even remotely on pitch. I've hardly had a chance to pump her about the money in the Swiss bank. What, Celia? Why do you keep waving your arms at me?
Nothing. I was hoping we could have a meditation together here in silence for a few minutes.
What are you talking about? We were supposed to plan how we're going to stop Boris from transferring the... What is your problem? Why do you keep stopping me?
Celia, you're starting to glow.
Yeah, it's hot. I'm burning up. I feel like there's hot energy coming out of my every pore.
There is.
It was true. Celia began to glow, brighter and brighter, and we could feel the heat coming off her. Then, there was a flash, and then...
What the hell is wrong with you all? Didn't it occur to you this place is bugged within an inch of its life? Listening devices everywhere. I've been picking them up in my radar.
You've got radar now?
Yeah, well, I don't know what to call it, but I found out that I can sense any electronic devices. Don't ask me how, but I noticed it last night.
I don't believe it's actually radar, but it could be a microwave or even Bluetooth manifestation, because while radar does use radio frequency to determine the presence, distance, or speed of an object, microwave is a much higher frequency radio signal at about 12,000 watts, as opposed to Bluetooth, which only uses 1 watt of energy, or 3, or 10.
Gee, Suzanne, can't you talk like a normal person?
I can't help that I find I suddenly have an exceptionally good vocabulary.
Did anyone else like it better when she couldn't get a word out?
You guys have got to stop snapping at each other. We're in this together now, and we are in very close quarters. Just makes it tense for everybody.
Pam, we might as well get this out in the open. I never stole your song in Sunnybrook Farm the musical. They just gave it to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You needed time to go change your costume. I was filler.
I'm not talking about this now. And besides, everybody knew you were mad they didn't make you grown-up Rebecca.
That is not true.
It is.
I was happy being the girl from the next farm.
Yeah, with my song.
How many decades is this thing gonna go on, you guys? Do you know how long ago that was?
I do. I was a dresser on that show. I remember when they were giggly roommates together.
I was never giggly.
Well, I wasn't giggly.
Girls, stop it. Get back to your mission.
Frida?
Yes, it was the voice of our therapist and oracle, Frida.
Frida, are you finally going to materialize your molecular structure and countenance us with your presence?
She means, are you here?
Pam, the whole world thinks you're the friendly one. Yes, we've all got layers, but passive-aggressive is not a good color on you. We'll explore this when you're not all in mortal danger, but frankly, in the meantime, both of you, grow up.
Frida, are you really here?
Yes, go on, Celia, darling.
As I was saying, I sensed there were no fewer than 9 listening devices all over this room alone. Look carefully at those nude sculptures. What do you see?
A lot of nipples?
Exactly. Look closely. Those aren't just nipples. There's a micro listening device implanted on every one.
Then isn't 9 kind of an odd number?
That last sculpture is a 3-breasted goddess. I've been able to hot flash jam all of it so we can talk freely. Remember, wherever you go on this property, you're probably on camera or being bugged. Watch what you say and do at all times. When I can, I'll scan and disable and tell you when it's safe to talk.
Does everybody know today's actionable to-do items?
I just want to share I've broken out into hives and a cold sore. It always happens when my anxiety gets out of control. I didn't think superheroes could get hives and a cold sore. But I'm ready. I've been chatting up the chef who asked me for my cornbread recipe for the barn dance Boris and Natasha are giving when Putin comes for the weekend next month. Anyway, the chef is giving me and Celia a tour of the wine cellar this morning. While I distract him, Celia will scan behind the wine cellar where the secret computer servers are kept.
That's right. I'm going to pinpoint what's there and figure out how to magnetically pull the contents off the servers and beam them to our own laptops. Swiss bank account details, communications with ORWELL, anything that will allow us to figure out how to scramble the $1 billion transfer and reroute it to keep it out of ORWELL's hands. I'm hoping to be able to do the magnetic pull through the stone wall so we won't have to go in.
Remember, that room is guarded by the gigantic dog with yellow eyes.
So true, darling. Pam?
I've started making friends with Natasha, and we're bonding very well. I'm coaching her on her song stylings to perform at the party and a little tap dancing. We have a session in half an hour. She's singing me the entire score of Cats. I'm going to offer her suggestions. Does anybody want to switch missions?
How is she?
Terrible. And now that I have the power of radical truth, not using it is torture.
Good, darling. It's all part of your training. Learning to hold back your power is learning to strengthen it. At the right moment, you'll see. Kerpow. Carolyn, what is your plan of action today?
At 11 o'clock this morning, I'm going to seduce Boris. In the throes of passion, he will tell me everything he knows about Orwell's plan to out the American Revolution as fake news and everything about his plan to fund it. Then I'll get him to reveal the numbers of the Swiss bank accounts and his computer passcodes. And I promise you, he'll be begging me to please allow him to tell me more.
Darling, your body positivity is a powerful force, and may I say, inspiring. Strong men will disintegrate under its energy field. Why 11 o'clock?
That's when he finishes his ping-pong game with Putin's propaganda agent, who's here disguised as an ordinary party guest for Natasha's birthday party.
It was true. The day before, as we'd walked about the villa's grounds, we had seen and identified the Russian propaganda agent in his disguise, blinding green golf pants from the 1970s. Suddenly, just then, there was an enormous whoosh and a sonic boom. And Claude, Suzanne's tuxedo cat who'd accidentally been given superpowers and wouldn't stop talking in snotty French. He had flown in through the window and perched himself on top of one of the nude sculptures. He had on a cape, the only one of us to try out our new costume.
I thought I would absent myself for this insipid discussion portion of the morning and come in time for my own debrief.
Carolyn, darling, do you want to finish up?
I see I was not successful in this. Always there is more talking among you, and yet nobody says anything.
Claude, stop it.
You do not own me, Suzanne.
Actually, yes, I do.
Piff.
I've been working on Flavio and gaining his trust.
This is insufferable.
All right, you go first.
Give and take, darlings, give and take. That's what relationships are.
He's my cat.
Says you, I have surveilled the ocean and mountainous territory around the perimeter of the villa. Or Muckvilla, I should say. Oof, it is a disgrace. The nouveau riche should not be allowed to build a building until the money has been in the family for at least 400 years.
Will you get to the point?
There is a radio transmitter hidden in the cliffs, suitable for transmitting messages that would otherwise be traced on the internet. I landed upon it to examine, and I found there, besides, seagulls, a second peculiar-looking transmitter. I quickly flew to Havana to check my hunch, and yes, I was right. Indeed, it is the same transmitter that bombards the microwaves to the diplomats and changes the molecular structure of people's brains. There are things very nefarious and dangerous afoot in this cursed place. This second transmitter must be investigated.
Thank you, Claude, darling. You know, I was never much of a cat person, but you're changing my mind. You're extremely useful.
No.
In fact, it is believed that ORWELL has developed these microwave transmitters like the ones used in Havana as a plan to dumb down entire segments of the population by degrading their brain neurons, literally softening their brains. Top scientists think it's behind the sudden mass gullibility of grown-up people believing absolutely anything they're told or read on the internet. Scientists say they can't think of any other explanation. ORWELL knows with this, it will be much easier to topple democracy by sowing their disinformation, lies, confusion, and hate. More bang for their buck, if you will. Claude, you must have found a prototype. We must destroy it, but not before finding out everything about it.
I am now finished. You go, woman I live with who gives me food from a can. What is to be your contribution?
As I was saying, I am working on Flavio and gaining his trust. As the Rominski's right arm and piano player, he is pivotal. He knows everything that goes on in this house, including most of the business. For the party, he will not only be accompanying all our music, but he wanted to sing a duet with me, which we will be rehearsing.
Before anybody could answer, the door swung open.
Good morning, ladies. I hope and trust you all had a good sleep and dreams that did not cause you terror and distress. Miss Suzanne, if you would join me in the Versailles room, we can practice our duet for the party.
Your duet?
Yes, we're singing a duet.
We are going to sing a duet of Mr. Cole Porter's famous song, Buddy.
Well, I know that'll be something to see.
I have spoken to the mistress with your concerns about an entire evening devoted to the transformative show tunes of Andrew Lloyd Webber. She had one condition for instead choosing more variety. It is that you ask her to sing the moving and iconic memory from Cats at the centerpiece of the evening. And that you must ask her specially.
That would be you, Pam.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, I'll ask her.
Ah, there is the pussy. Hello, pussy. Miss Suzanne, it is best that we begin now.
Suzanne followed Flavio out on the way to the Versailles room, and the rest of us went off to our assignments. Celia and I went to the kitchen to find the chef. Carolyn went to rest up before her seduction, and Pam went to the tiki bar on the patio to coach Natasha.
Natasha? Natasha! Hi!
Ah, Pam, darling, there you are. You look so radiant. And yet, you wear no makeup. Is this American Broadway thing? Not to wear makeup when you are among people?
Well, it is the morning. I don't usually... And I am wearing some eyeliner.
It is... never mind. I am never without full makeup, but I have much to learn from you. As I say, you look radiant. Very natural. And I look...
Yes, you look very... naturally full of makeup.
Ah, thank you, darling. I do not fish. Would you like drink with umbrella in it?
No, thank you. I just had my coffee.
Ah, don't be ridiculous, darling. You will have one. I will make it for you myself. I will have my second.
Oh, well...
So I am made to understand that you and your friends do not wish to pursue my idea of evening of Andrew Lloyd Webber for my party that I am paying you for?
No, it's not that.
Do you not like the transformative show tunes of Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Oh, yes. Of course we do. It's only that we thought...
Yes? You thought? Yes?
That if we made an evening with more variety to it, it would take your guests on a magical ride across all their emotions. You see, each of us has our own specialty and repertoire. Elizabeth can sing beautiful songs from Showboat.
Ah, this river that is old man.
Right. And Celia did a whole evening about the great Nina Simone. Suzanne will sing Cole Porter, and I would do the Sunnybrook Farm medley and Dream Ballet that gave me my first Tony Award. And that way, you can be the only Andrew Lloyd Webber event of the entire evening when you sing Memory from Cats and really stand out as the evening centerpiece because you'll be the only one.
Ah, you are asking me to sing.
Of course. I mean, how would you not be the centerpiece of this evening? We can work on your song right now.
This comes as much surprise. I was not thinking I would go on stage to sing.
But you must.
You really like the way I do that song?
Oh, yes. I've never heard it done that way before.
I think it was what made Boris fall in love with me.
Where do you and Boris spend most of your time? I mean, in which of your houses? And does Boris always work from home? In a locked room?
Yes. We were at a, karaoke celebration at the Black Sea Villa of Putin's mistress. We call them Putin and Putain, only to their backs. Boris and I had just ended marriages. Boris, his fifth, I, my third. And it was my turn at the mic, and I saw him not taking his eyes off me. And I was singing Memory from Cats. And then looked right at him and sang, Honka, honka, burning love. And we have not been separated since. I know everything about Boris and every detail about his life and his business.
Wow. So what's it like? What's he do? A lot of stuff on secret computers, I'll bet. Maybe in the basement behind the wine cellar?
You are not drinking your drink.
Oh, I don't really feel like...
I made it for you, myself, specially.
Hey, why don't we work on your song? TikTok.
You do not like my hospitality?
Oh, listen, you have made us so comfortable here. Where did you get those pillows? They're like sleeping on marshmallow peeps. Come on. Do 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 do. Come on. Do do.
Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Just the moon lost her memory. She is smiling alone. I know who you are.
I know. It is so flattering that you're a fan.
I mean, I know why you are all here. Your real reason for being here.
How do you know? I mean, what do you mean?
Drink your drink.
No!
Drink it.
I don't like mango.
Flavio, drink it now. You will die from it. You will not get any information. You will not stop Boris and Orwell from their world domination.
No!
Then I will make you drink it and I will kill you.
No, I won't.
Drink it. Drink it.
No, stop it.
Die.
Help! You have no talent.
What? What do you say?
Pushed so close to death, Pam had instinctively unleashed her superpower of radical truth.
You're the worst singer I've ever heard. You're terrible. You can't sing at all. Your vibrato's so wide you could drive a truck through it. You make my ears bleed.
There was only quiet. Natasha was in a heap on the patio with her head up against the tiki bar. She looked as though life had left her body. Pam tried to catch her breath on the other side of the patio. Suddenly, Natasha began to stir, and she opened her eyes and stood up.
Stay away from me!
The sun is glinting off the highlights of your hair. You look so beautiful. Come here, come to me, and show me how to interpret this love song. I feel so attracted to you right now. Connected, bonded. Have you ever been with a woman?
Oh my God.
Oi, darling, we've got to learn to tolerate unexpected outcomes. It's part of living with uncertainty. Unleashing new powers make for new experiences, not always the ones we want, but that's life. You did well for a first try. Next time you'll wear the costume. It'll be better. Trust me. Remember, breathe. 4 in, 8 out. You're looking thin. Have a little nosh.
Meanwhile, Carolyn was waiting for Boris in the hallway right outside the ping pong room, ready for her seduction and to find out everything Boris knew about ORWELL's plan to destabilize world democracy and about the secret brain-softening gullibility transmitter.
You good player, but I beat you, Kalishnikov. Ping pong, there is a man's game. You put up good fight, but now you lose.
Boris came out into the hallway, and after him, Putin's propaganda agent disguised as a party guest in green golf pants from the 1970s. Carolyn had used all her skills as a veteran Broadway wardrobe supervisor and was decked out as the sexiest siren the Mediterranean coast had ever seen. In the daytime, she was ready.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, beautiful, sexy American Broadway singing lady.
Oh, I don't perform like the others. I mean, I perform. But believe me, not like the others.
You are not professional singing lady?
No, I don't sing. I dress and undress. Hello. I don't believe we've met. I love your green pants. They're sexy.
Hello, I am ordinary party guest.
My name is Carolyn.
My name is Elvis.
Well, hello, Elvis. I'm sure glad you haven't left the building.
I am in building. I am here, standing.
Right. Well, what an embarrassment of riches. I like what I see, and when I like what I see, I get what I like. See? Boris, baby, don't forget we have a date in an hour for you to give me a tour of all your ping pong trophies. Stay in those cute little tennis shorts. I want to hear how you became the fertilizer king.
I have business first, but then I get to you. I like curvy women.
What about you, Elvis? Want me to show you Graceland?
Elvis, you make nookie with sexy American lady? We talk business later.
Boris went down the stairs to the wine cellar behind which was the secret armored room housing the computer servers and guarded by the monstrous supernatural dog with yellow eyes. What Carolyn didn't know was that Celia and I were down there at that very moment because I had charmed Hans, the German chef, into giving us a tour of the wine cellar. Celia was scanning the walls and exploring the way to the secret room while I distracted Hans with my grandmother's cornbread recipe, which was exactly identical to Paula Dean's.
And the French wines are along this wall, including several excellent vintages of Chateauneuf-du-Pape. You know, I would get in very big trouble if anybody found out I had brought you here.
But it's a very secret recipe, and we traded. Well, my grandma didn't give it out to anybody. When I graduated from the conservatory, I didn't get a car like the rich kids. I got this cornbread recipe from Gammy. And in all these years, this recipe has not depreciated.
Herr Putin is very fond of cornbread. We will need much of it for the hoedown. 3/4 cups of cornmeal?
3/4 cups of flour and 1 cup of cornmeal. You can swap the butter for the bacon fat. What's that noise?
There.
Over there, all the way on the other side.
I thought he'd never leave.
What did you find out?
I tried to scan through the walls from outside and pull the data off the servers, but those walls are too thick, or they've lined them with something I can't get through. We're gonna have to find a way to get inside the room and past the dog.
Oh, shit. How are we gonna do that?
I don't know. I saw the dog, though. That's a monster. Ugly. Teeth like big yellow icicles. He sits in an anteroom, not on a leash, right on the other side of that wall. I saw it with my X-ray vision.
Ooh, you've got X-ray vision now?
Apparently. I found out, unfortunately, while I was walking along some hallway, and I looked at a door and could see that Boris guy changing into these teeny little tennis shorts. Man, that's something I'll never be able to unsee.
I don't think I can do this.
Sure you can.
I miss my family.
I know.
I feel lightheaded. I'm like I'm gonna throw up.
You're okay. Really. Come on, sit down for a second and just breathe. Breathe slow. It's just your anxiety. It happens to all of us.
I can't keep this up. I'm serious. I wasn't cut out for this.
What? Are you telling me any of us are cut out for this? Are you kidding me? I'm melting steel doors and have radar coming out of my head. And did you see the getup Carolyn was prancing around in? Body positive? All I saw was that big ass. Superheroes. It's all Frida's fault. If we let her retire all those times she wanted to, none of this would have happened. Come on, let me show you the door to the anteroom before the German comes back.
Wait, he's coming.
Hey, Hans, did you find...
But the voice that came back wasn't Hans. And when we turned around, it was not Hans that we saw.
What are you doing down here? You do not belong here. This place is not for people who say they are here to sing at party. Who are you, really? What do you want here?
Boris came closer and closer to us, and he reached his hand in his pocket and took out a gun. Celia stepped in front of me and held my hand, and Boris backed us closer and closer toward the wall with the dog with the yellow eyes on the other side. I began to hear the growl of the dog, an otherworldly, horrifying growl like in your darkest terror dreams.
The last people I found down here, nobody ever found.
Boris kept backing us up closer to the wall and to what was waiting for us on the other side of the wall. I felt my knees buckling, and I thought I'd be sick.
Would they ever get out? Would they be going to their certain death before they even got to sing at the party? Would their trial as superheroes end even before it begins, before they learn to use their powers? Would they fail to stop Boris from helping ORWELL cause the collapse of democracy all over the world? Would Elizabeth's southern grandma come back from the dead when she finds out a gay German is making her cornbread for a communist? The answer was ahead of them. Flash Force, written and created by Deborah Grace Weiner, directed by Mark Waldrop, music composed and sound designed by Nathan Scalzone, edited and sound designed by April Tucker. Episode 5, our amazing cast. In order of appearance, Donna Champlin as Elizabeth, Karen Ziemba as Pam, Kecia Lewis as Celia, Nancy Opel as Carolyn, Judy Blazer as Frida, Emily Skinner as Suzanne, Kevin Isola as Claude the cat, Jason Graae as Flavio, Lucie Arnaz as guest villain Natasha, Jason Graae as guest villain Boris, Kevin Isola as Kalashnikov Elvis, Jason Graae as Hans, and I am your announcer, Kevin Isola.